Let's start by walking through the controller class. So a controller in terms of Spring Boot acts as the thing that is going to be the RESTful endpoint. So the controller in Spring Boot is going to be the endpoint facing class. You do this by annotating a class with REST controller, and inside the REST controller you can use other annotations like get mapping to define that, for example, /hello is going to be an endpoint I can access. And if we see how this works, consider that behind the scenes, Spring Boot is handling both intercepting this request, getting the inputs also using annotations. For example, I can take in a parameter of name, doing any other types of service calls. In this case, I'm calling a method within a service, and then returning the end result, in this case, the hello response DTO or data transfer object as JSON. So when we walk through the code, I see that I'm returning this hello response DTO, which is simply a greeting. I'm taking in a optional parameter of name, and I'm using that and passing it into the hello service. When I click into that, we can see here's where the actual logic resides. And this is very common to do within Spring, which is to have service classes annotated with service handle what we would normally call the business logic. Again, the purpose of the controller class is to focus on establishing the actual endpoint format and possibly validation rules, while the purpose of the service class is to execute some sort of logic. The logic in our case is that if we're given a name, we say hello name. If not, we just say hello.